Michael Pollock here with one of the greatest players to ever put on a Long Island Ducks uniform and ever to play in the Atlantic League, Ray Navarrete. It's a pleasure to join you as always. And to start this off, I got to reveal the big news. You're officially part of the team, the Atlantic League Silver Anniversary team celebrating the 25 greatest players in league history. You've been selected as one of those 25, so congratulations to you and welcome to this elusive club.
Wow, Mike. Man, I got the goosebumps. I'll be honest with you. It's a tremendous honor. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a tremendous honor. Um, it's hard to believe that. It's also hard to believe the Atlantic League is now celebrating its 25th year, which is just incredible. And this is super exciting, and I'm extremely grateful. Both myself, my family. You had a first row seat to my career out there in Long Island, and all you guys know exactly just how much the Atlantic League and the Long Island Ducks mean to me. So I can't express my gratitude enough, and I can't say thank you enough. So this is a tremendous honor. Um, you know, some of the best players I ever played against were in that league, and it's hard to believe that I'm among those 25. So it's pretty cool.
It's amazing when we sit back and think about it that it's been almost 20 years since you first made your debut in the Atlantic League in
Yeah.
2005. And then, of course, spent those 8 incredible seasons with the Long Island Ducks from 2006 to 2013. You accomplished so much while you were here. Championships, of course. There were 5 All-Star appearances that you made, over 1,000 hits in league history. You were the MVP Player of the Year in 2009. Out of all those accomplishments that you've accrued, what's kind of the one outside of the championships, of course, that you feel stands out the most, means the most to you?
Wow, that really is a great question. You forced me to eliminate the championships. As you know, I would have said, of course, those they still do mean the most to me, right? How hard we all worked to bring those to Long Island. Of all those accomplishments, I guess I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say probably the 2009 Atlantic League Most Valuable Player Award or Player of the Year award. Just because, to be honest with you, Mike, when I first showed up in the Atlantic League in 2005, um, I have to be honest. I mean, everyone knows how great that team was out there in Somerset. I couldn't even sniff the lineup out there. And I remember in 2006, after my time with the New York Mets, when the Long Island Ducks gave me a call and kind of extended an olive branch out to me and to allow me to attempt to continue my career. When I got to Long Island, I also knew of the Long Island Ducks as like the team that had like all of these big name former major league players. And I was really concerned that when I showed up in Long Island in 2006, with the kind of roster names that you guys had out there, that I was going to end up with the same kind of fate, like someone who really believed in my ability, but was I going to sniff the lineup? So it's very hard for me to kind of still understand and embrace the fact that just a few years later, I was named the league MVP. In my opinion, one of the best levels of minor league baseball, independent or affiliated, in our game. So for me, that was an incredible personal accomplishment. But of course, that year in 2009 could not have happened with incredible teammates, incredible coaches. That was the year that I had the great honor to play for Hall of Famer Gary Carter. So it's not quite often that any player can look back in their career and say, hey, they were an MVP of a league at a certain point in their career, and I'm extremely proud to be able to say that.
Yeah, the first to ever do it in the Long Island Ducks uniform, and
Yeah.
now one of 4 players in franchise history that have won Player of the Year honors for the league, of course, with Lou Ford, Jordani Valdespin, and Steve Lombardozzi. Okay, I left out the championships at first, but now let's talk about those 2 you won on Long Island. In 2012 was such a magical year for you. You were an all-star. You set the league record for doubles in a single season. To be in that dugout on your home field when Dan Lyons lays down the bunt, heard around the world to win it. What were the emotions going through you at that moment, realizing you had finally done something you had set out to do so long before that?
Man, it's a sense of relief. A sense of relief because that was a point in my career where, once again, to be super honest, I was very well aware that I was closer to the end than the beginning of my career. Long Island turned out to be an extremely special place for myself and for my family. I made some incredible relationships out there. And, although we both know that wasn't the last season that I wore that uniform, I knew I was getting close to the end, and I really believed in my heart that I was running out of time. And it was a big personal and team goal for me to win a championship in a Long Island Ducks uniform. And you were part of what I call One of my greatest professional disappointments is when we came up short in 2011 with that special team, right? So 2012 for me was a big year. I set out a goal that we were going to come back and finish the job we started in 2011. And for us to be able to do it in the way that we did, beating, probably many people would still say, the favorite in the championship series was Lancaster that year. To do it in Game 5 at home, to do it in what I believe really is the coolest way to end a game now, which is a bunt heard around the world from Danny Lyons. It just was it was like a movie, and I'm still grateful that it happened. I'm grateful we accomplished that goal. I'm grateful I was able to be part of a team that brought a championship back to Long Island. So just magical. 2012 was just magical.
You talk about it being like a movie, and it's so hard to top a storybook script ending like that was. But then you talk about 2013, which ended up being your final year,
Yeah.
Game 5 of the championship series against the team you were with to start your Atlantic League career. You get in the lineup, you hit a 3-run home run that gives the team the lead in the game. You go on to win it, and then you're getting carried off the field after the game. I mean, could it get any better than that?
The answer is, very quickly, it doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that from a professional athlete standpoint. 2012 was a magical season. 2013 was the last season of my career, but no secret, probably the most challenging, most difficult season for me, just as a person, as a player. It was a very long season, with a few injuries. I wasn't the same guy towards the end. Heading into the postseason it was just a really difficult time for me, and I wasn't quite sure if there was going to be, many opportunities, if any opportunities, to even help the roster win and move forward in the postseason. So, for us to get to the championship series after a challenging year was an accomplishment. For us to be able to face off against our biggest rival, the Somerset Patriots, was incredible. For me to be able to possibly end my career against the organization that gave me my first Atlantic League start, and me being a Jersey boy through and through, I have some history and experiences at that stadium prior to my pro career. It was just all setting up for like this incredible ending. But it doesn't happen if we don't get to Game 5, right? If either one of those teams wins before Game 5, you and I are never talking about that ending. And that ending, who knows how that plays a role into how people remember me out in Long Island, how my career is looked upon. So, I look at that as it was just meant to be. A Jersey boy who kind of made Long Island my home, ends his career in the stadium that I spent time in long before I put on a Long Island Duck uniform. And it was the perfect send off. It was the perfect ending. And I'm extremely grateful for that. It's something that I'll be able to tell my daughter one day, that, when her dad played her last game, he hit a home run to help his team win a championship and got carried off the field. It's who knows, maybe one day they'll make a movie about
it. I would be the first to buy tickets to that movie, that's for sure.
Awesome.
So, of course, one of the things that an athlete looks forward to most is winning a championship. I think the number 2 thing that they can look forward to is having their one day the organization honor them with the jersey retirement. You became just the second person in Ducks history to ever have your jersey retired, of course, along with the great Justin Davies back in 2015. What was that day like for you, and how special of an honor was it for you to see your number 16 up on that scoreboard forever?
Mike, it sounds probably corny or to make fun of me, but just hearing you bring up a lot of these things, you kind of get a little bit, you get a little emotional, like in a good way, because, unfortunately I've gotten a little bit older. I've been away from pro ball for a few years now. I played my last season for you guys 10 years ago this year. So as the day-to-day activities of your life continue, you kind of you don't forget, but life is moving on. And then, you get to kind of remember and look back at some of these accomplishments, and they were pretty cool. And, whoever holds a Long Island Ducks organization at the highest esteem is tied with me. You know that, how much I love that organization, how grateful I am for the opportunity they gave me, and how grateful I am, and how, for their loyalty to stick with me for 8 seasons through good and bad. So, the Long Island Ducks are pretty famous in professional baseball, and they have a reputation of bringing in the best talent and the biggest of names that are available. They pack the house at that stadium, and for me to for me to understand that my number 16 jersey has been retired by them. It still is retired. The number's hanging up. It's sometimes hard for me to even comprehend that. To me, I just think it's really, really cool. It really is an incredible honor to think that, for such an organization like Long Island Ducks, for the players that have come before, for all the great players that are going to come after. I'm sure one or two of them are going to ask for number 16, and unfortunately, they're not allowed to wear it. And I think that's pretty cool, and it's an honor that I hold very dear to my heart. And I know that I'm planning on coming out to Long Island in May. It'll be the first time since I come out to visit you guys. I believe post-pandemic. My daughter has never been to a Long Island Ducks game, and I've showed her a lot of pictures of her dad wearing that uniform. So I guess she's going to be the only person, the only kid allowed to wear number 16 moving forward. So that number 16 being retired by you guys means the world to me, and I'll always be grateful for that.
Yes, May 26th is the start of the 2013 championship 10th anniversary series. There are going to be 5 different dates during the course of the Duck season where we recognize the team itself, but also some of the great players from that team, you being the first one to be recognized. So it'll be exciting to have you back at the ballpark May 26th. The first 1,500 fans are going to get an oversized baseball card of you. I have to think it's probably going to be one of those moments, either celebrating the home run that you hit or being carried off the field. But either one was such a great moment, and one that nobody will ever forget. And you mentioned you have a daughter now. Tell everybody kind of what life has been like for you post-baseball career. Where are you living? What have you been up to? And how's dad life?
Yeah, man, it's cool. Thank you so much for asking. A lot of people would be very, very surprised. So much has changed. So much has stayed the same. As you guys can probably see my hat, I'm still the same guy that all of you out there in Long Island knew and probably remember. But I'm also, I'm a different version of that same guy as well too. Happily married. I moved back out to Jersey in 2016. I got married in 2018. Won the lotto with my wife for sure. And my biggest dream of my entire life, I've always wanted to be a father. And I became a father in January of 2020. I am the proud father of the dopest, coolest little girl in history. Her name is Stella Rose Navarrete. You guys are all going to meet her on Friday, May 26th. And Mike, you're a proud father yourself now. It is God's greatest gift, and also our biggest responsibility. So, I'm just out here in Jersey. I'm working really hard, still coaching a ton of baseball. Some people out there may be seeing a lot of my stuff on social media under Coach Ray all day. And believe it or not, I'm in the business world as well too. I'm on the advisory team at Levine Financial Group in Colts Neck, and we just launched a new sports division where my task is to help people like myself, younger versions of this Ray Navarrete, when they were in their 20s and 30s, maybe in pro ball, kind of think about life after baseball. And a lot of times pro baseball players were so caught up in the dream of putting up big numbers or maybe one day playing in the big leagues that we do fail to forget that, when you show up on Long Island in your 20s, you think you're going to be that age forever. And one day you're going to be in your 40s and married and with kids and with a mortgage, and you got to plan for that. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm very passionate about it. So like I said, so much has changed, but so much of me is still the same. I still love baseball. I still coach it, and I have a feeling I'm going to be involved with the game for as long as I can.
Awesome. I'm sure the game can't forget about having you involved in some way, shape, or form for the rest of your life. That's for sure. Ray, congratulations again. Atlantic League Silver Anniversary Team, one of the 25 greatest players to ever play in the Atlantic League, and we look forward to seeing you out at Fairfield Properties Ballpark on May 26th.
Mike, thank you so much for passing along this incredible news. Like I said, tremendous honor. I couldn't be more excited, couldn't be more proud, and please extend my thanks and gratitude to Mike Pfaff, to Frank Bolton, to the entire organization, and I'm looking forward to bringing my family out there in May.
Awesome. We can't wait. Take care, Ray.
All right, take care. See you, man. Peace.